Hello. So right now I'm gonna get ready and go to like mental health support, which I'm really grateful to have because it really helps me to not feel alone in my struggles and get some help. Yeah, I am really grateful for a lot of the things I have, but right now there's been like a lot of life changes and things going on, so it can be hard. Um, yeah, also like I know you might see like, sorry, those are my pets. Like my house or certain things that I have like might look um nice or like I'm rich or something, but we're not. Hey, sorry. But we're not. Like, we are really fortunate to have a house and to live in an area that can be kind of expensive. For owning a house, most people rent because it's gotten so pricey, sadly. So yeah, I don't mean to be like, oh, she's just ungrateful or spoiled, because I am really grateful. Unfortunately, it's something we can't really afford. My dad is the main provider for income right now. So it's like, things aren't always how they seem, right? But just kind of a reminder that it doesn't matter, like, you could be the richest person or the poorest person, like, whatever your problems are, they're valid, because I know a lot of people say, like, oh, I don't know, and they just say kind of like, oh, someone else has it worse than you, and, you should be happy, or, like, I know it's meant to be something nice. Sometimes they say it in a good way. Sorry. They say it in a good way because they're trying to support you or lift you up or remind you that like everything's okay, right? And that's really nice. But for someone that struggles with mental health, I would really recommend, either for yourself or for other people, just remember that it doesn't matter, like, everyone's problems are valid. It doesn't matter how much you have or how little you have. You could be homeless, you could be starving, and obviously those type of people that need the extra help, it's more urgent in the sense that, like, you need basic needs to function as a human, right? But even if you are, if you're lucky enough to have enough food, somewhat enough money to get by, water, like basic needs, but you still struggle, it be physically, mental health, or anything, like, you shouldn't feel bad for your struggles because they're equally valid, right? It's hard to know what to say to someone that you care about, it be a stranger, or a friend, or so on, because we're not really taught how to be kind or empathetic, right? Oftentimes, like, people might do their best, but other people, they can be judgmental, sadly. They can be like, oh, you're weak, or suck it up, like, they can be like, oh, it's all in your head, right? If you're fortunate enough to not be around those people, then that's great. But unfortunately, that's a huge, like, misconception. It's like stereotypes or myths, right? Because if you had something to do with your physical health, like if you had a bone sticking out, or if you're bleeding, like, people can see it physically, so they can be like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you in pain? But when it's something internal, when it's like, your mental health, like your brain, your emotions, your feelings, or even physical health that's not visible, right? Like, if it's, what's it called? If it's your physical health, for example, if you struggle with, I don't know, like Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, etc., like things like that, right? Like certain things you're not always able to see. So just remember to be kind to yourself. If you don't have people that can be kind or validate those things for you, then you have to be extra kind and advocate for yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter like how good we have it or how bad, or like, everyone's problems matter. And it's not like a comparison, like, I have it worse than you do, right? Not everyone understands mental health well, and it is somewhat getting better depending where you live, right? Just know that, it doesn't make you a psycho, it doesn't make you sick, you know, like, we all have mental health, we all have emotions, we all go through some depression, anxiety. It's just that we're not really taught how to manage it, and we're not really taught how to be kind to ourselves and everything, right? So yeah, you just need to be extra kind to yourself and know that even if people around you, they mean well or they don't, you know yourself best, and you have to look out for yourself even more, right? And just because your problems might seem small to someone or even to yourself, you have to accept them and know that you're doing your best to work on them, right? And even if people do mean well, but if it comes off a little bit harsh, like, try to be kind to them, like, try to accept and understand that they're doing their best. They don't know how to support you. But I would really recommend, like, trying to use phrases like, hey, I'm sorry, or don't say sorry if they don't like that, I don't know. But anyways, be like, hey, like, I'm sorry you're going through a hard time. You could be honest, even like, I don't know what to say or what I can do to help, but I just want to let you know that I'm here, I support you, and everything's gonna be okay. You know, something simple like that, right? Or you could be like, hey, like, I don't personally struggle with anxiety or depression, but I just want to let you know that, you know, you're stronger than you think, you're brave, and you're gonna get through all of this. So little things like that to say to yourself or to say to someone that you care to support really makes a difference. I'll look up some other phrases, but just be honest, you know. Let the person know that even if you don't know exactly what to say or do, that you support them, you care about them, and that they're not alone in their struggles, that they matter. If they need help, to reach out, if they're able to, with resources, right, supports. And yeah, it's not easy to support someone or support yourself with your problems, but just know that you matter, you're loved. You're not too sensitive, too weak, too emotional, any of whatever you say to yourself. Like, we can be really harsh to ourselves. We can be like, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm so ugly, I'm fat, or I'm too skinny. Like, you know, whatever you say to yourself, like, I hate my skin color, or I hate the way I look, my hair, this, that, or even things like, oh, no one likes me, no one cares about me, my family hates me, or like, in general, whether you think it's true or not, but we're not always very kind to ourselves, and depending who you live with, maybe they're not kind to you either. Some people can be abusive, sadly. So just remember that it's best to try to say things to yourself that are like kinder, like, hey, you know, I know right now I'm going through a tough time, but I'm not those things that I'm thinking. You know, my thoughts aren't facts, they're not true, they're just moments that pass. I am someone who's hardworking, I'm someone who is loved and can be lovable. You know, like, try to combat those negative thoughts, even if it's really hard, because it makes a difference. And whether you struggle with low self-esteem like I can sometimes, most of the time, just know that it's okay, and you're doing your best, and that's all that matters. Just try to be kind to yourself, because it really goes a long way.